Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates. I have a video I'd like to show you some of my shabby chic flowers I've been creating using my reclaimed lace and upcycled vintage fabric and lace. So let me get started. In my video where I just did a lace haul, I was showing you the lace that I dyed with avocado skin. So most of the pinks that you see in these flowers were dyed with avocado, except for this one. So I'll show you this one first. This one I made a little satin rosette to put in the middle. And then this was just purchased lace that was actually on a bolt, and I was at Goodwill and there was a bag full of lace trim. So these are the only ones that were not dyed with avocado, but I like this one with a little bit of, there's some netting kind of tulle like fabric, and then there's another lace trim there and one on the bottom, and then the little rosette I just put a running stitch and gathered it and then twisted it. So that is my little Dusty Rose Shabby Chic flower. And then these two are very similar, so I'll show you them at the same time. And these were done with the avocado dye. And I just love how each lace took the dye differently, so it all took on different colors. And then I just put a pink rhinestone bling in the middle, and around it I put some pink flat back teeny little pearls. And then I don't know if you can see this one, but it has this is just some shabby cotton fabric with little rosebuds on it. I don't know if you can see the rosebuds. There they are. Anyway, there's several layers of fabric. This is an eyelid zigzag trim. This is a lace trim, crocheted lace. This is a doily that I gathered. This is the fabric. This is the center of the doily, and then there's the bling. So this one is almost the same, except it's got lace at the bottom, 2 layers of the little baby rose pink fabric that I gathered, doily, flower applique, and then bling in the middle. So I love those two. Those are fun. And then this one, I was working with white. I used some nylon fabric that kind of frayed on the end that I like because it gives it that shabbiness. Then I put some little pearl sprigs here. I cut out a little flower applique from one of my pieces of lace. And then this was some dangles at the bottom of lace that I put at the bottom. I put the little cardstock backing on it. And then this pearl was a little cluster of pearls that I cut off of a sweater, and I got about 6 or 8 of those off of a sweater. And the whole sweater was $1, so I think it was a great deal because I was able to get all this embellishment off of that sweater. And then there's some of that lace that I got off the bolt. I thought that one was pretty. And then 2 others that are very similar are from eyelet trim that I gathered. I just made a bunch of strips of fabric and put running stitches and then sat and gathered all of them and then started creating flowers. So I kind of did it in an assembly line, which helped me create faster and more organized. But this one is 1 layer of eyelid, 1 layer of lace, another eyelid, and then the little applique with the pearl in the middle for that one. And it's small. This one's probably 2.5 inches in diameter, same as this one. And this one again, it's the eyelid, and then some crocheted lace, and let's see, is that eyelid? No, 2 flower appliques stacked on each other and a pearl in the middle. So these are 2 little shabby cute ones. This one, I'm still trying to decide if I like it. It might be a little too stained, and it's a paper flower in the middle, which I usually just stick to all fabric and lace. And that one I tea stained, and it ended up looking, I don't know if that looks tea stained or just dirty, but I went ahead and finished it out, and I do like it. Okay. And it has eyelid lace, crochet lace, and then on up to the paper flower on top. So maybe the combination of the cream and the tea stained and the white gave it something a little more interesting. This one I put one of the chiffon rosettes in the middle and kept it very simple. And that's just eyelid lace trim, 2 flowers of that stacked with one of the chiffon roses in the middle. I'm saving my favorite ones to last, but this one and this one are also a combination of the tea stained and then just the regular cream doilies. And this one is an applique that I cut out of a vest as the bottom. And then I used some cheesecloth as another layer, and eyelid lace trim that was tea stained, and then a doily. And then this was a part of a choker that was all fabric, and it's kind of a metallic gold. And then in the middle I used another one of those pearl appliques that I cut off of a sweater. I really like this one because it's got all different layers, but they kind of worked well together to make a pretty flower. And then this one, I gathered an eyelid lace strip of fabric for the bottom one, tea stained, applique, and then another of the metallic little flower with the pearl in the middle. And this one's really flat, so I can use this one in my journals. So those are those two. This one's all doily, and I like this one a lot. I put the cardstock on the back, and then I gathered a scalloped piece of, let me get that off, a scalloped piece of the doily, 2 sizes of that for a flower. And then the middle, even though I cut it off, it left a little bit of the fringe, and this looks like a woven piece. I used that one, and then a smaller one, and then I don't know if you can see, but there's a paper flower with petals, and then the center of a doily, and then this is just a flat back pearl with the string of pearls wrapped around it. So that's another slightly flat one, but it's all doily, and I like the color. And these two were when I was just getting started, putzing with it, and I'm not a real fan of them, but just because they're different. This is a fabric that I just gathered a strip of it, and it's, I don't even know, it's sort of like a gauze kind of fabric. And then this is the baby rose print, real soft cotton, and I didn't finish the edges on purpose. I wanted it to kind of fray. And then I put a little pink applique, a little white daisy applique, and then a rhinestone center. Oh, and underneath there's a few pink sequins. So that one was a little different. And then I made a journal for my sister, and with some of the scraps from the journal I made another kind of, what color would you call this? A rusty orange trim. And that's a satin flower with a pearl center, flat back pearl center. And there's some lace. So these two were just using up scraps, but they're usable, and I may find a good purpose for those two. They're just very different. My favorite one, well, here's another one, just eyelid lace trim as the back. Pearl center from that sweater, some daisy flower appliques, and that just made a nice white flower. And my favorite one, dun, 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 is the eyelid lace trim in the back that I gathered. And then several layers of lace. This one was this kind of a pointy scalloped piece of lace that I gathered. Another piece of lace that I gathered. So these are all just gathered lace that I ruffled. And then I purchased a pack of flat back buttons or jewelry type things. And that's what the center of this one is. But I don't know, this one's nice and fluffy. It's got some dimension. The ladies from the UK that I watch call them yummy. At first I'm like, why would they call them yummy? But I don't know, it's kind of what you think, kind of cupcakey looking, yummy, really pretty. So that's my favorite one. And here they all are. Again, one last little show for the road. And yeah, so I made several, had a good time just sitting and putzing and making shabby chic flowers. This is the cover of a journal I just created with lots of bling and flowers. And I mixed in a little bit of the cream with the white so the details will show up a little better. I don't know if you can see there's a butterfly in the middle. So I'm still kind of trying to get my finesse with this type of art. I mean, I am an artist and I do clay art, and my degree is art education, and so I love everything art. But I do highly respect the ladies that have this as an art, because it's not, you can't just sit down and do it. It really takes some thought, and the best word I can think of is finesse. I mean, otherwise it just looks like you threw it together. So I enjoy watching other people create with the lace and the fabric and the doilies and coming up with these gorgeous pieces. So I'm about to get back at it. Thank you for watching. I hope if you enjoy fabric and lace that you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with more videos soon. Have a happy day.